nothing but damage. Like, I agree though. Like, it's hard to say that, but I actually think against an Oracle, it might not be enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they have damage, but it's also, is it enough damage? Because if you take out the Oracle, sorry, not the Oracle, the Scarlet Mage's magic burst damage, the other four don't really do enough damage to sort of instantly burst down a Terrorblade. Well, it'll be interesting to find it. Simply TOOBASED, they surprised us in game one. I'd like to see if them do it again. Basically, you know, I'm not really rooting for them, but I am. But they are the underdogs, and watching them play well has been a treat for sure. For Alpha, they're very tanky on their cores, which I like a lot. They also have they're supposed to pretty. I don't love Viper, but he's also another tanky hero. You have decent magic damage as well. It's an even draft for me.
Yeah, I'd give a little. I mean, it's hard to say because, again, you really don't see any Oracle these days. And he's so bad in the lane. 42 base damage. All those spells cost a ton of mana. Again, I was a little bit incorrect about what the Fortune's End stuff is. I guess they got rid of this -1 second like
instant,
channel time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is instant at 25, but it doesn't work with your 10 talent. Like, you don't get that. It's just a dispel. It's not bad because it's instant, right? But you do lose out on, you know, having up to a 2.5, up to 3 second root, which feels pretty decent. Like, that is Oracle's main harass tool in lane, at least in the rare instances I've seen him. It's just like you max channel this because it's got a very generous cast range, and then you just right click the enemy like 6 times. It tends to be pretty winning for Oracle.
The one thing I do like about Oracle is I feel like his Aghanim Scepter is absolutely broken. The problem is that he's never gonna farm it. Right?
The Reign of Destiny.
Right? It's so good. It's like a 50 heal and I think 50 damage, and you improve the heal by 25%, or you remove 25 of the enemies. Does it remove their healing? No, it doesn't. Okay, but still, it's pretty good. Oh my god, 5-on-5 smoke. Someone's gonna get killed.
Probably Afro. Maybe not Afro. I can't catch him. He's got brown boots.
Well, smoke breaks on like half the players in the game, and I'm disappointed by that.
I have felt very underwhelmed by the Sag Scepter, actually. I think it's not quite the worst. Yeah, it just doesn't feel good. I just don't think, like, what is it? 50 by 25 is
62 and a half. 62 and a half.
Yeah, multiplied by 2, right, is like 120, 125 in his ulti. It just never feels good. Like, especially if you farm that item on an Oracle. Or Aaron's in an awkward spot here. Who are they jumping, though? They've split. Alpha not focus firing whatsoever. And that means they won't get first blood.
Oh, that switch of targets right there. I feel like they could have gone Empyrean, but they were kind of hesitated on that one. He was like a bit close to tower, like, we don't want to dive, but could have gone the kill. Either way, doesn't matter too much. I don't know. I think a lot of times when we see something, we're like, is it good, is it bad? Because no one picks it. You think maybe it's, you know, we don't really have data to support whether it's really good or bad. If that makes sense. Yep. So if we can see Oracle pick it up and you win a couple of fights, you're like, oh my god, this is the best item ever. You pick it up and like the fight goes by, you're like, well, now it looks like it sucks. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah. I mean, it's never been picked in a pro game, so I can't really like go off of that. And turbos aren't really anything to go off of it on. But like, when I've played the Turbo Oracle and I've bought the item, I'm generally underwhelmed by how much farm I have to sacrifice, like how many other items I have to sacrifice to get this. Like, an Aether Lens feels really good on the hero. You don't really get one if you have an Ags. And the cast range on this Reign of Destiny is not good. It's not amazing. It's kind of very equal to your Fortune's End. I think if it was a much more generous cast range in AoE, it'd be pretty decent. But, I mean, like, for the longest time, Gale Force was, like, you know, way better. Now it's a little bit not as good that it is a cast range. But, like, if it was, like, Gale Force, I think it'd be pretty good. But it's really quite restricted.
Yeah, it should be global, right? Like, yeah. I can raid. Why can't he raid anywhere? Why do I have to stand there?
Exactly, yeah. If it was global, it'd be really good. But, I don't know. Maybe then it'd be too strong or something like that. But I don't know. I'm surprised to hear you say that because I thought this was going to be really cool, and I tried it, and I was like, oh, man, this sucks.
Someone who's actually having a tough game is Paradise, although he does have that level 2 reactive armor. Sorry, like level 1 reactive armor gets to level 2 rather than level 3 this time, so it's not as bad as it was in game 1. Pingu is harassing him, but Paradise kind of, I wouldn't say he doesn't care, but he's not really bothered too much by it.
Yeah, Flea will make it underneath this tier 2 to safety, as they have gone for lane swapperinos here. So safe and off lanes have swapped. Not too big of a difference. It's pretty easy to pull this camp for Empyrean, although it is blocked, so he won't be able to pull it. And he's actually blocking it himself, interestingly enough. So double blocked. He won't know that that camp is blocked for a while, I'd imagine. So in the mid lane is already being ganked as Afro is running him down. He's got Swashbuckle. Yes, I don't believe. Oh, well, the tower. He's going to go diving, and that's first blood. Nico's going to get it there. Rotation. This is late from Flea. It's not going to change anything.
Yeah, now he sort of wasted his TBs. He's going to get the EXP and gold, so it's not like it's completely bad for him, but surprising Swashbuckle further away, and there you go. Oh, Paradise.
Yeah, he's probably dead here. Another Timber Chain, but they maintain the 5 stacks here. Lots of debuffs as they finally, you know, the problem on Timber is when they get the debuff counter over your reactive armor count is usually when you know you're screwed.
It's like, by the way, this hurts a little bit more than I can heal. He tried that trick where he does that point blank Timber Chain. He did that in game 1 against the Disruptor and it worked. He was like, maybe I'll fool them, but it ended up not really working out for them. So 1 for 1 in either way, but simply TOOBASED a little happier because they got first blood. However, in terms of CS, Alpha's looking pretty good on the Ursa and the Pango. 11 denies on Ursa. That's kind of crazy, actually.
Yeah. It's a little bit concerning for a Timber Saw, especially because I'd say they've got pretty easy ways of dealing with him yet again. You know, lots of stuns, lots of magic damage. I don't, you know, this game actually kind of looks even harder, to be honest, than last game. For the Timber, which is kind of hard to say considering how poorly last game went. But a good rotation from Afro, at least towards the mid lane for a first blood onto Soul. He will TP back top and is immediately back to work here versus the DK, who's got level 2 Dragon's Blood and a Bracer. They've got plenty of damage here, but they've reduced it on Aaron, who does not have the Metamorphosis ready for another 45 seconds. Monster taking a bit of a beating, but you know it is a DK. He do be tanky.
He definitely do be, and of course he also landed that Breath of Fire, reducing all that physical damage as well. So it's hard to bring down Monster. Like, he's also suffering, not as much as Paradise, but he is suffering quite a lot as well. But Paradise, dude, 3 CS in 4 minutes. That,
yeah, they're really tanking him.
Right? Like they are. I like what Simply TOOBASED is doing. Like I want to say that their offlane hasn't really been having the performance they want. It makes sense. They're like, you listen to just weather the storm, you know, like suffer for us basically. But damn, 3 CS in 4 minutes.
Yeah, and Rise is here almost flawless, seemingly on denies. Oh, they're gonna dive this. They say, hello, Paradise. Meet my Fury swipes. Down he goes. Pretty easy kill there for Rises.
I think it's a much better game for Rises compared to game. I mean, game 1 he also had a pretty good game, but this game he is really popping off now with this, like, I think, 2nd kill. And just 19. Man, it feels so weird to see Timbersaw just sack this hard. But when you see that one team is like, oh, we're gonna have 2 cores, you know, basically we're gonna have 2 cores and one guy whose basic job is just to sort of run around and make as much space as he can, losing his life, like not even like bothering to give any far, just use your life to die.
Well, Afro's here now. They're probably trying to bait Paradise a little bit, but Rises is more keen to farm that wave. Top lane, by the way, I just want to point out this beautiful green prismatic shard that they've got active. Oh, you'll love to see a Champions Green. That's about a $400 shard, I think.
Jesus.
It's there. Those things, they get expensive, man. I bought one for my Witch Doctor set. Ooh, that was an investment. Pingu. He's going to go down as eventually Afro does manage to get the jump onto him. Paradise 6 stacks the Fury Swipes, not nearly enough. Rise is giving chase here. I don't know if he gets this, so instead he'll turn back for the courier of Afro Rouge, which had the TP scroll, puts Afro in a bit of an awkward spot. Who will fall here to that 5th and final Fury Swipe stack. Nothing really much that the puck could do about that. Here's
overall, I think that Paradise would be pretty happy. Yes, they get Pingu, they give him a little bit of breathing room. He actually salved up as he was running away, which I thought was pretty nice, just to make sure he gets as much health as he can. So good job by him. Still Alpha 1,000 gold advantage for them. Although Monster is suffering as well, like he is not having the best game. 19 denies, although Aaron.
Well, they're rolling on over as well. Great snowball set, but they've snowballed him aggressively. It was the only target they had. Ice Shards, though, are going to absolutely block out the Pango.
Yeah, Tusk, I mean, I never thought of Tusk as being a counter to the Pangolin, but you look at it, you're like, yeah, you can move terrain. You can, you both of them have a ball to roll into. Tusk is, I guess, bigger. You can put more people in and just work out really well for him.
Precious bounce.
Still, Alpha is probably still feeling pretty confident with how the game's going for them.
Pardon me, by the way, this prismatic gem is only $30.
What?
Got scammed mid lane. In trouble here is Soul. Afro does not have Walrus Punch, and there's a lot of damage to this now from Soul. Here's Flea. Snowball, though, is good for more lockdown to Soul, but he's got another Swashbuckle. Might even use it aggressively here as Pingu. He's going to gank from the bottom lane. Imperium not really able to do much here as he's a bit late to rotate, and it's only a dead Tusk here. But Alpha are going to look immediately for more. The smoke beyond the tower. It seems like the supports will head bottom lane once again to kill the old reliable Timbersaw.
How many times these days? He only died twice actually with one kill. It's not that bad. I feel like at this point you're kind of beating a dead horse. Like, dude, he's already dead. Like, what are you gonna do? He's not, at this point he's gonna go backwards in level, and well, he's
coming. I mean, he's only level 4 though. I believe the Tusk even has a higher level. That stun's not gonna last too long on Rises, so he does get away from the tower. As even the Tusk is actually level 3, pardon me. But Paradise, yeah, Rises, they've been through this song and dance before, as he'll be forced at least out of XP range. But ultimately the kill not going the way there of the Ursa Warrior, who is, by the way, Rises, going for Battle Scar yet again.
The Afro Mush in game 1 on the Marcy has a great save. This game as well, like this is the second time he saved someone. I think I mean, it's just time we saw him do that. But going bottom lane like that, keeping Paradise alive. And I don't think it's worth it to keep trying to kill the Timbersaw. It's like Timbersaw's game is already tanked at this point. He's gonna take forever to recover, and he's a Timbersaw. Like he's not gonna recover very quick. So you might as well go for someone else.
Yeah, I mean, this is ridiculous. Like at the point of 29 denies, like it's really just out of spite at this stage. He's continuing to deny Timber.
Right? Like, well, man, we just don't like him. It's personal. It's
29 denies. I mean, holy cow, that's a lot of denies. It's ridiculous.
The guy barely has half that in CS, It's like, what are you denying so much for?
It's like when you really get shut out of a lane. Oh, this is nice stacks being taken as well for Soul. It's like when you really get shut out of a lane, like if you're like a safe lane, like position 5, and like your tower gets taken, and you've got like a TB, so he just goes to jungles. Hold on, I'll finish my rambling story here. As Nico is ganking here, looks for the kill first on the Flea, and he's got it. Soul looking to turn. He's going to look for the easier kill first onto the Oracle Empyrean here with the points in Fate's Edict. Buys himself a couple of seconds. And that's time where Nico's going to look to steal a couple of these creeps. Gets one of them. Only the one, though.
I think there's supports levels a little bit on the low side, by the way, for the Skywrath Mage. Because he was up against the Terrorblade, there was a ton of denies. And you look at the Oracle, he's also got a little bit less level. Actually, he's going to be about... He'll be fine with the tone, but Skywrath Mage really losing levels because of all those denies on Terrorblade. And you guys can hear the sneezing. Mr. Seek and Strike has
I was laughing, actually, because Paradise, he was in the jungle, and then Pengu was like, no, I don't think so. I'm going to come spit on you in the jungle as well. Level 3 poison attack. Snowball there for Nico, as he has Swashbuckle. Just pops the wand to get up to the high ground. Nico will invis himself back down to safety. Yeah, this is a Timbersaw who, by the way, was basically a solo laning who's still not level 6. 10 minutes in. Just absolute pain. Absolute pain for him this series.
His net worth is... I mean, when you look at the net worth, by the way, you can see like 5 cores at the top, and they're like, wait, I thought there were supposed to be 6 cores.
There's usually a 6th one there. Where's the other... oh no.
One of us is an imposter, and turns out it's a Timbersaw this time.
It's him. Yeah, he kind of does look like the Among Us when he's got the full reactive armor stacks and he's inside his little metal suit. They're looking for the Ursa here. Doesn't seem too likely, however. Yeah, as he just pops the Enrage, and they think he's going to club a Walrus. Ice Shards are not going to save Afro there, as they really bit off more than they could chew. They've had to get a Walrus punch in there during the silence duration, but there was no Walrus to be punched. He was not level 6.
Yeah, the levels on the supports are a bit lower than usual, just because there have been so many denies. 29 on the Ursa. Terrorblade had like 22 denies as well, so 2 of the supports were like suffering. Then you have to distribute the remaining XP, so it's just a bit tough.
Yeah.
Alpha, though, they are having a much better game in game 2 compared to game 1. We have 2k advantage right now.
Yeah, and again, Battle Fury Ursa, not completely unheard of these days. China still really likes to build Battle Fury basically on every single core. And Radiance on Slark, so they do things a little bit differently out there. You know, I was very dubious of Battle Fury Ursa. I remember I was casting the what was it? ESL 1 LA games. Yeah.
I was casting it with. I think we were casting it together.
I remember I was casting with Ares or Dandog for the particular one because I'll never forget this game. I literally laughed at God King Hualien because I think he was on Aster. I don't remember exactly which team he was on at the time, but playing through the qualifiers, and I went, "What the hell?" Like I literally thought he was trolling because he won his lane super hard and then started building a Battle Fury, and I went, "Oh, he's having a laugh. Like this is like a meme." And then he won the game super hard with it. And they still do it to this day. To this day, they still build a Battle Fury. So I'm still dubious about it in this patch, although I'll hold my tongue as to not be completely made a fool as I was 2 years ago.
No, I mean, it still seems like it. I mean, it accelerates his farm a lot. You just, with the max overpower, you can just clear a camp in literally 2 seconds. So it does seem to work, and you are gonna, you do need to make sure you get some farm, because if you fall behind the Terrorblade, there's no way you can fight him. Even evens, like, feels like Ursa needs to be ahead in net worth to beat the Terrorblade. So I kind of like it. I like it. Just feels like, so before everyone was like, oh, Ursa's Tempo, Blink Dagger, and you know, Basher with BKB, and that's it. Maybe a Morbid Mass so you can lifesteal. Then you'll show, oh, there's more creativity there. I like it. I actually played a game with Ursa today, and I went for Battle Fury. It took me 25 minutes, and we lost. So, you know, I like it. I can't do it myself though.
Well, it's not 25-minute Battle Fury 13 for the Ursa Warrior. He's got that one online and completed. Monster has a Blink Dagger. The first smoke play is not going to look too good as their ward in the enemy triangle is taken out. Diffusal nearly online for Soul, so these first couple of items really coming online now for Alpha as they are looking to flex their 4K now forward lead. And who better to put back and dump into the locker, put his head in the toilet, but Paradise, they're going to try and give him another swirly here. He gets out of dodge at least this time, but he's going to be picked up by this ward, so they might just still kill him anyway.
Oh, poor Paradise, man. He's fine. See, he dodged them. He knew. He was like, nah, I'm not going to walk into them. I think Paradise is kind of just the perfect bait. You know, he's walking around there like, come on, guys, let's go get a kill on him. And then he Timber chains away and everyone else farms.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant move.
He's a very farm support, isn't he? He's got like, you know, this is like the net worth where you see like a support with his inventory and you go, damn, dude, your lane must have been great. Oh, you're the off laner? Oh no, we're in trouble.
What happened to you? Did your mouse get cut off?
Yeah.
Were you play with your feet? What's wrong?
Yeah, I mean, he's getting this hood online at least. I think he's already got the cloak is such a good item, by the way. 15% magic resist for like 500 gold is so value this game, especially for the Timber. So he's going to be very happy to have this online. But yeah, he's been having a very rough game.
And poor Paradise, not only has the game been crapping on him, but so have the casters.
Yeah, like, so far. Well, you know, friendly ribbon, right? Yeah, we interview him, we hype him up, but in game, you know, oh boy, they're gonna tear into you, my friend. No, I mean, he's doing his best, right? It's been a tough game, and what can you do when you're dual laned as a Timber versus an Ursa, right? Not much.
And
is the answer.
Ursa Viper as well. So like just Ursa, like Ursa Viper of all things. But yeah, so basically do smoke up with the. You know, their killing potential is not amazing now that Timbersaw is having a bad game. It's like, Oracle's not exactly the biggest damage dealer. You do have Tusk, which is solid.
Yeah.
It's like, it's mostly the puck, you know?
He's got Walrus Punch. Things will look better now that he finally has the punch. And maybe eventually a kick, although that's probably a little bit hopeful here for the Tusk in this kind of game. Paradise needs a lot of farm to get recovered, and Paradise still able to do, you know, Timbersaw things as he stands in the middle of the creep wave and says, what are you going to try and kill me with max reactive armor stacks, even if it's only level 2? I don't think so.
Ancient Seal there, just
not even scared.
It's just like, hey, look, we got Ancient Seals. Like, hey, well, whatever. And he's just going to go straight for the tower.
Yeah, they're going to go for Pingu instead. He is going to be the one to fall prey to the smoke at the end of the day here for TOOBASED. Is that enough to open up the tier 1 tower? Not quite, as Empyrean actually commits the ulti here onto the Timber. He's going to regen a lot, actually, thanks to the 18. Oh, not that much, actually. He is still dead. Flea gets the kill. He did tank a whole Mystic Flare there, didn't he? Monster, in the meantime, is going to be mashed. It was a Graveyard Smash, really, for TOOBASED, as they now look to claim the tier 1 tower mid. Oh, that's a lot of damage there out from the Swashbuckle. They might get this Tusk now. Fate's Edict there is on the money.
Oh, but Ursa's here, big boss.
Yeah, he is. He's the big boss. And actually, he's going to make a bit of a difference. He scares away the puck. who is going to not be playing any Solid Snake here.
Radiant's
Nico is
bottom
out,
tower is under attack.
backing this mission.
By the way, Ursa also has a blink dagger, so he's gonna be able to jump on anyone he wants,
Including
especially.
Roche.
Yeah, well, for Roche, man. But most likely they're gonna be the Oracle's the one you always want to catch. I wonder at one point that we're gonna see something like Fury Swipe no longer works on Roshan.
Oh my God, no
Can
way.
you imagine?
Oh my God, that is, yeah, no way we'd ever see that. It'd be such a huge thing. Maybe if they did that, they would. Oh, whoa! What a blink forward! He's right onto Imperial now. He's gonna go ahead and dispel the Fate Edict off himself. Thank you very much. Easy kill there. Monster though, not gonna die. Actually, the wall response. They did another second, and that might set up for a return kill onto Afro quite easily. Especially as he's disarmed, he can do nothing versus Soul. But watch himself die. Timber's gonna die in the mid lane here. To Pingu and Rises. Gets 2 kills in the fight immediately after securing the first Roche, and this one is starting to look pretty difficult for TOOBASED. Even if I did like their draft, Alpha now securing this first Roche, especially if they continue to snowball kills here, put themselves in a very good position for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I mean, just Rise has been going crazy, and we haven't seen the Terrorblade sort of fully unleashed in one fight. He is quite a bit behind in terms of farther, barely ahead of the Pangolier, so that's kind of the issue. It's like, yeah, you have. On one side you have the Ursa and Terrorblade's farming pretty decent, just that Ursa's so massively farmed and Paradise is doing nothing. So simply TOOBASED, their damage issues. We talked about Alpha being very tanky, and with the Timbersaw not really doing damage, suddenly you have like a double whammy. Oh, you're up against very tanky people, and one of your cores can't actually do damage.
Yeah, and they're going to get up a blink dagger now for Pango, right? So he's going to even bring more pressure. I thought it might have been Shard to be able to. Oh, whoa, that's just an easy kill there. Silence is a very effective tool. Soul's just going to go for a nice Sunday drive here after Ursa mauls his target. Really, nothing to hit, just taking in the sights and sounds here of the nightly drive to do the Radiant jungle.
I mean, jungle is much prettier than the Dire side for sure, though.
I'd agree.
Paradise level 9. Well, I was like, oh, he's level 9, and Monster's level 13. It's like,
and Monster didn't have a great lane either, right?
No, it did not.
It was a bit difficult for a DK. It was no 1 and 4 Timber, sure, but not the easiest lanes for DK. So Wilmer doesn't get away with any lane. He blinks back. So this is a tri-core blink dagger now here. By the way, for Alpha is what this blink means for Nico. So not a whole lot of stats, but plenty of initiation, and honestly not too tanky of a team for TOOBASED anyway, really. So I don't think it'll be that big of a difference maker, but it's curious if they all decide to go for it.
Yeah, I'm not usually a big fan of so many blinks on one team, but meanwhile, the Skytrade is probably going to fall here. Will they go for more, though?
Oh, yeah, they're going to delete the Oracle. Red 2, no Basher for Rises, so he's not going to really get any kills on the puck that easily. Ooh, nice little vault to get Afro out of range of the Swashbuckle. Pingu's farming. He's trying to get this Wraith back to online. Oh, they've deleted Paradise yet again. That was very quick. He even had a ward there.
Damn it, Seek. I told you, keep the camera always on that poor guy. You know, it's a blink and you miss it.
Yeah,
you know?
honestly. 2 blinks there and he's dead. He'll be missing a Timber. Level 10 at least. He's getting there. He hasn't taken a talent yet, but eventually he'll do good.
And the thing about the multiple blinks on one team is that usually you don't need everyone to jump in at the same time. It's usually if you have a Sand King, you need to get a blink dagger as well. And so it's like, usually, Sand King jumps in, or someone will walk in time and be there. But when the enemy team is lacking damage and your guys are naturally tanky, then multiple blinks isn't too bad. I guess I love it, but it's fine. And they are going to go for BKB on the Dragon Knight and the Ursa as well.
Alright, they at least get something in the jungle. It's Pingu. He will fall, but Pingu almost has more net worth right now than the Timbersaw. I mean, 600, sure, is close to over actually 10% of their net worth, but that's still saying something considering it's a Viper who, I mean, I guess has Nether Toxin to farm, but, that's still saying quite a bit.
In the meantime, I think once the BKBs are up, the second Aegis will be Alpha's time to basically win the game, right? It's like, what are you really going to be waiting for at that point? You have Blink Daggers, you have...
Got Aaron as well, top lane.
Oh,
that was very effective, and that's really the win condition, the only out that TOOBASED has. Just down the drain.
Like, that can't happen, It's like Aaron can't lose. At the same time, though, at least Nico can split push pretty well. You do have to worry about the Pangolier sort of blinking already on top of you and stunning you, but other than that, you're kind of okay. Sort of split push and delay the game that way.
Yeah, at least until there's a basher. Then there's a couple more things to worry about. Easy kill there onto the Tusk, as there's no stun, at least for the Timber. He will make it out. Look at that. I mean, my goodness, he almost had more debuffs. I almost had 12 debuffs there. That was terrifying. Nico, at least he pushes the wave all the way to the tier 1, so he's going to ensure that they can't go high ground here with this first stages, but still, looking very good.
11k advantage for Alpha. Just an unkillable Ursa at this point of the game. And Nico does get a Koya. That's 400 gold for the team, which is very helpful. And he gets another Koya. That's 500. That's 900 gold right there for the team. Pretty good for Nico right there. And he's gonna have to keep doing that though. Like, there's no way they can fight the 5-on-5. The only thing they can do is fill up the map. Unfortunately, even if Puck pushes out one lane, you are up against like Alpha, who they have the Dragonite, but the other 4 heroes aren't the most amazing tower push, so it's not too terrible.
Then there's an Scotty now for Aaron. They're going to smoke off the back of this and look for a fight. Not quite Aether Lens for Imperium, so he does have to stand precariously close to Aaron, for an Oracle anyway, to get off the ultimate. That might be a little bit of a test for him, especially with a decent amount of lockdown available at the disposal here for Alpha. Again, this TB not really at the stage where if you ignore him for the first opening seconds of a fight, he's going to completely murder you. You can, use a Dragon Tail right now on Empyrean and take him out of the fight, and that essentially makes Aaron very easy to kill. This Scotty, it's a turning point, but it's not a 90-degree turn. It's like a 45-degree turn here.
Yeah, it's I don't see the sudden like, oh my god, it's like when you have an MKB against someone who's full of evasion, it's like, oh, that's an important thing, but it's like, oh, this will help, but it's not a ton of damage.
No, it is not. Smoke from Alpha is actually TOOBASED holding a decent spot underneath the ward in the Alpha jungle. Risky place to be fighting, though, at a net worth deficit, because enemies can buy back if they have it at their disposal. And indeed they do here, especially because Nico's the first jump, first hit, bash into the stun. He's absolutely deleted. And look at this. Soul has picked up literally the rest of them with the drive-by Rolling Thunder, canceling the TP of Aaron, completely isolated as the roll-up is going to stun him a second time. Oh my goodness. Paradise will not even make it out. I mean, absolutely just grinded into dust there with TOOBASED. What an initiation from Alpha. That could not have gone better for them.
I mean, at that point, you have to be like Lux on their side, right? When you get the first hit bash, you just are able to kill the puck just like that. So, I mean, what do you say? It's just they got deleted on Alpha's, on Simply TOOBASED. The blink daggers coming in handy because once one person catches them, you're like, oh, I'm going to just jump in and get those kills. And again, this Oracle pick is just not working well out for them. If it was Abaddon, by the way, you can't do that, because if you do, if you jump on Abaddon, he just has the ulti on, he saves someone else. So that's the way Alpha drafted, the way they were thinking ahead to make sure Empyrean was useless this game was very clever.
Yeah, true. I mean, an Abba can still kind of just get ignored, right, with a silence. So it's not like they didn't have any solutions either with the Skywrath Mage, it should be said. Because even if you're stunned, if you're silenced, you can't activate the ulti unless they put you underneath the threshold. And even then, they have Nether Toxin, right, which does break your automatically proccing ability. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think this is just a good draft and good execution so far from Alpha, really. Abba or not, so far, I mean, especially that fight looking very clean. TOOBASED, they're going to give it another go. The good news is that fight was so bad they didn't actually use any abilities at all, so they still have everything, and are going to now look to leverage that everything into Roshan.
Everybody's going for the butterfly rather than a BKB, which is interesting, because I think you can dodge pretty much everything from Alpha except for the Viper Strike, but this is the second Aegis. This is really good if TOOBASED can get it. They are 60k behind, and Roshan, like, this has to go for them, basically, for them to have a chance in the game.
Seems like it will. It's not super fast even with max tag team. But Alpha seem to be none the wiser. And that'll be Roche number 2. Aegis and Shard both for the TB for now.
Yeah, it's like, is there anyone who really needs the Shard this game? It's like, not really, right? Like, most of them are pretty crappy Shards, aren't they?
Yeah, I kind of like the Oracle's one, at least this game. Maybe. Give your boy some invisibility. Pod.
Hey! Let him use the false promise normally for us to be like, oh my god, these invisibility is gonna help him out. It's like let's just get a normal false promise.
They're gonna give it to Timber. That helps their push a little bit without having to commit the meta. Sure.
I was gonna like it's gonna be either the Timber Saw or the Tear Blade. I would prefer it on the Tear Blade just because I feel like he's the most important person right now to have on the map.
It would have been nice if they gave it to Oracle. It would have been back to the throwback days when you played this hero and no one on your team knew what he did. Why am I invisible? What's going on?
What the hell does this? At one point, also used to like constantly dispel you. Although top lane Aaron is gonna be stunned here.
Yep, he's got Aegis though, so they need to find a better target. Indeed, they have. It's Timbersaw. Good omens for the fight here for Alpha. They killed him yet again. Sacrifice to the god accepted. Is speaking of the gods, they're gonna take down Empyrean. He is down for the count. The damage out from the Tusk is not nearly sufficient. Aaron has bailed from this fight, as Nico is the only one left with an eye shot here of Alpha. But it seems like they will not be able to quite catch this slippery fairy. But still another solid defense and a fight from Alpha, who, again, despite having lost that second Roche, still have the 15k net worth lead.
Yeah, they did some damage to the tier 2 tower, almost bringing it down. But again, Alpha very happy with that. The problem is, again, we're just Paradise jumps in. He can't, and the Oracle does not have any way of actually getting the save on him. Tusk tries to jump and save him, and he also loses his life. At that point, it's like Oracle just, what's he gonna do? Can't get the ultimate off on anyone. So it's just a very awkward situation for them to be in on Simply TOOBASED. They have the Terrible, who's not a mobile hero.
Yep.
And the Oracle's also not a mobile hero, and then you have 3 very mobile heroes, but
it's also like a super hard area to try and like group up for a push when you're pushing a tier 2 tower. It's a little bit awkward. You can see this ward. It's a bit hopeful in retrospect. Pardon me, in hindsight for TOOBASED, this ward on the high ground here of Alpha, it'll still give them from intel. Like they see all the couriers moving out here into the jungle. They know that there's grouped up here from Alpha. But it's so much harder to hold this area and to like have an Oracle stand in the trees back here compared to like here. You've got to dive like way further around where there's more ways of getting into the fight at a tier 2 tower.
Speaking of diving, this is the 3rd time they try this smoke here.
Yeah, and they've been scouted as well. The smoke did break. On the war, they're jumped Nico already. They get the ulti off though, Empyrean with a very clutch save, but they're locking down Nico just to send a message. They've done extra damage. He is extremely dead. Empyrean's gonna pop as well. Paradise TPing away from the fight. Aaron's not even here, as that snowball is actually gonna pull Tusk out of the shards. Afro, no blink dagger, no real chance of getting out of this one. He's gonna go down.
Twice now they start fighting. Aaron's like,
oh. Paradise. Got a Yule Scepter for himself. It's his Invert Chain at the ready, but Flea knew exactly where he was headed. 10 seconds till another Mystic Flare. These are indeed the supports. Very good point. Flea should not have the mana here to kill him, but they do force him back and prevent him from cutting any further waves, which means... Oh, actually, Flea, he's dying. Paradise looking to turn. They got to get rid of the... Oh, the cores are here, though. They TP to the outpost. Aaron, he's in a bit of an awkward spot. He's been stunned. He's got Butterfly, but no BKB. No ways of actually dispelling himself other than death. It is a TB, so you'd much rather not lose, your Aegis when you already have the meta running. Get a refresh on that, obviously. So he's going to desist from chasing down Flea.
They could have gotten the Skyrite Mage. That could have been worth it. He had the gem. It would have been very nice for them, but again, they're just not able to get their claws on anyone. Look at this, how farmed Alpha supports are, by the way. Both of them over 8,000 net worth, whereas look at the supports on Simply TOOBASED, basically half the value there. And that's creating a lot of problems. Like you saw, Viper and the Skyrite Mage were just bullying the Timber, so they're like, get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if that's most other offlaners in the game, that he probably just dies there. Timber, of course, a bit elusive on top of being tanky, is more difficult to kill than most.
So, well, it's gonna be a 20k advantage for Alpha. At that point, it's not the 1k per minute mark, where it's like, oh my god, you're 20,000 ahead in 20 minutes. That's always game over. But it's still. I still don't see how they can win this on.
Oh, yeah, I mean, especially because with Abyssal up, they're just losing the puck left, right, and center, really.
By the way, that puck actually has Lincoln Sphere, so he's still, it just doesn't matter. It's like that. He's trying everything he can to survive, and it's not enough. Well, he does have buyback. There is 1 minute left, and the team that did not get the second Aegis is a team that's actually pressuring for high ground.
Yeah, they still wait for that Aegis to expire. A kill here onto the enemy mid laner, so very disciplined from Alpha as they head up to the high ground. Ought to be Roche pretty easily. An initiation onto Afro Monster, a little bit aggressive here. Lots of heroes being hit with the splash damage though, at least from TOOBASED. Still give a lot of life to this push. Fireball on top, canceling any would-be Blink Dagger holders here from TOOBASED, but really only the puck has one, and puck is dead. Tower, surely but slowly, eventually goes down here to the relentless push right now that Alpha are pursuing. No buyback yet from the puck, who's got available. Only Aaron here without buyback from TOOBASED. The Chakrams being juked quite easily. 9 seconds down till the puck is back. The disarm there onto the Ursa, but Monster should have enough tower damage here to take down the melee Brax. Indeed, down it goes. They're turning. Aframouche is dead. Timber as well just simply dies there to the magic damage. Double buyback now from TOOBASED as Nico attempting to hold back the supports. They both snap the coil, but there's really no follow-up damage here. Monster's back on the enemy high ground as well. Pingu thinks about going back in a fight, so Soul's going to head back in as well. There is a Sunder there for Aaron. They're right back onto Paradise, sending back to the fountain here. Arliss attempting to do so as the Ice Shards do interrupt Soul. Not nearly enough, though. Aaron taken down towards the end of that fight as the GG is dropped. Is going to be a 1-1 here, a very quick rebuttal by Alpha, who will now go even into game number 3.
Did not even look like a game, honestly. Like, the way they sacked Paradise, I think they sacked them too hard. Does that make sense? You know, it's like in game 1, they actually gave him a bit of a lane and they left him. They're like, all right, we can win top. Here they sacked him, but they weren't able to get anything. Well, not anything, but they weren't able to get as